What's up, guys? It's Dave. We're back on the Green Monster frame for Pepper. So again, we've got this S15 that we've been completely gutting. We've got the cab is actually hanging still right there. We took the frame. We put the 504 S10 swap kit on this. So that's what all of these cross members and such are. We've got body mounts, cab mounts, and things for the step bars and such. We've got the front end kit for the LS. But right now, today, we're going to be venturing into the rear end. So this is the Thorbros 5-link kit. So we've got our step notch here. I was out last night doing some work and marked my axle center and some other stuff on here. I've got to trim this down so that my inside piece will sit flush. But we've got that here, and the outside, so I got to grind all this paint off so we get to bare metal for welding. So we're going to try and get stuff tacked in this morning. I got a friend of mine who's got a much nicer welder that I want to borrow because I'm just working with my little $90 Harbor Freight Flux Core welder, super junior welder. Anyway, so that's going to get us started. It's cold. It's like 30 degrees, but the wind chill is, I think, 27 right now. So anyway, we're just out here trying to get some work in, staying focused, and yeah, we're going to do it. Here's a little bit of what the front end looks like right now, and you can check that out. It's pretty much on the ground. It's got the bags in. It's got the air hose run from bag to bag. I got to go down to the hardware store and pick up a little T-connection later on that I can use to just pump that up in case I need to roll it over to the other side or really anywhere because it's just going to drag on the ground. But that's it. We're going to set you up and get started on this grinding job. Here we go. To get started, I pull the rear wheels off and scribe some lines at the edges of the C-notch. I then grind off the excess paint from the frame to make a solid surface for welding. I've always heard to measure twice and cut once, and test fit 15 times. Next, I have to trim the top part of the frame so it's the correct width for when we box in the C-notch area as we put it in. I use some clamps to hold the notch tight and hit it with the first few tacks to hold the piece in place. Now that the first side is tacked, I clamp the other side in place, measure, move, measure, move. The pre-bent pieces for the top of the notch are measured and then cut to fit. You can see there's minimal penetration on these welds. I'm doing a as little as possible until I get that nicer welder from my friend. The gas tank cross member needs to be removed, so more grinding. I break out the trusty Sawzall to make some relief cuts in the cross member, since the rivets on the top and the bottom hold this thing tight. I mock up the Thorbros cross member, only later to find out that it just mounts on the top and there's a bottom piece that sandwiches the frame from below when you bolt it on. Alright, so right now we've got the front end that's done. The bags are in, it's on the ground, got the wheels on it, and I need to find a temporary way to pick it up and raise it. And so I had these from an old project laying around, these old airlines here. I had this nozzle as well that gives me a standard whatever valve to be able to just put my air chuck on there and blow it up. So what I did is just sliced off a piece of the airline that I had, just to make sure that's on the truck, just to make sure that it would fit in here. I know I'm good there. So I went to Lowe's, picked up this T connection, which allows me to put these in here. And then this is another one that I had that's a 1/4 inch instead of the 3/8. So I took the 1/4 inch. So I had to go find some tubing that could fit in there and connect these two together, which allows me to then toss this guy in here. Obviously, I'll put some thread tape on it, but that should allow me to connect these to here. One of the big things that I was looking for while doing this, looking for this 1/4 inch pipe, was I wanted something that could hold a certain amount of pressure. So this was what I found, which was just 1/4 inch outer diameter, which was right. Unfortunately, it only came in 25-foot length. But the biggest thing, if it'll focus, is right here, working pressure. This is 140 psi. You probably can't see that, it's so far away. Anyway, 140 psi is the working pressure that's listed on there. And so that's what I wanted to make sure, because I'm not going to be running it at 140 just to move the truck around with no engine. And this is just temporary, but I did want something that could hold more than 50 pounds of pressure between the two bags and going into this connection. So that's what I've got right now. I'm going to go ahead and take it outside, see if I can lift up the truck and test out the bags. All right, guys, we're back out here today. We've got, where we left off yesterday, we've got our C-notches tacked in place for both sides. So that was quite an adventure for me with my, my Primo starter welder. I think it's too cold. I think I mentioned this, but I think it's too cold right now for this welder to get hot enough to penetrate to the level that I want. And so I'm going to try and pick up that Miller from my friend today. But we went out to Lowe's this morning, picked up some parts, and I have my T-fitting here, which is ready to test out the front. So I just snugged it all up on here. I'm going to set the camera up. We'll toss some air in it and see if it raises up. 2, 3, boom. Look at that. We're up. Let's see if we hear any leaks. I don't hear any leaks over here except for my actual air line that's coming from my main compressor. It's exciting. Obviously, when we come back in, we'll take the sway bar, put the sway bar in the right spot. I should probably do that now, and hook the tie rods on just to keep everything lined up pretty well. But I call that a win for the front end. I'll be able to check around too now that it's raised up. Check around and just confirm that I don't have any rubbing on the inside, the back of the bags. Obviously, when we come back, this is just a temporary. It's not a mock-up, but it's just a temporary fitting because we've got to put new bushings in. You can hear the thing creaking like crazy, but we've got to redo, you know, a number of things here in the front end before it's actually going to be drivable. But this tells me if the bags are in, the lines are good, there's no leaking at the fittings up here. So yeah, exciting times. All right, guys, well, that's it for today. Pretty exciting, though. We got the front end moving up and down on its own bags. Obviously, we've got to still set up the sway bar and the tie rods in there, and I'll do that tomorrow. But we also got the back end. The C-notch is started. It's tacked in place. Obviously, with this welder, I don't want to do a whole lot because it's just not penetrating at all. But we're making progress. We got that cross member mocked up as well. So I'm going to slap some paint on some of those things and then take the next steps, and we'll see you in the next video.